Sure. Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams. I live in Fort Washington, Maryland, and I am married and the mom of two little girls who are 6 and 7. And I've been drinking ketones for 5.5 years and have been sharing them for 4. So since my daughter was my youngest, about 8 months old, I've been sharing ketones or drinking ketones. And I came in for the fat loss. That was what I was looking for when I started drinking ketones, because I was being asked if I was pregnant when I was 6 months postpartum, and I looked like I was pregnant. I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. So people asked me that all the time when I was uncomfortable mentally and physically in my body. I needed a change, but I wasn't ready to accept that yet. But I was ready to stop looking in the mirror. So I stopped looking in the mirror as a way to deal with my emotions, and I was resigned that this just might be my life. I gained a lot of weight from both pregnancies. And I also didn't have all the energy and the focus and the mood that I needed to be my very best as a mother, as well as my very best for myself. At night when the girls went to sleep, I also tried not to go to sleep, but that's usually what happened. I was either watching a show or going to sleep in the process of it, or reading. But since drinking ketones, I have dropped 34 pounds of fat. I've dropped 10 to 12 pant sizes. I'm in a size and a weight that I've never seen before, and up until that point. And I've maintained that now for 4 years. So I'm comfortable, I'm confident, and I have energy and focus to do 2 jobs from home. I educate my girls from home. I used to work in education as a teacher and then a coach for teachers for 4 years. And then now I am not their sole teacher, but I am doing homeschooling, world schooling, unschooling with my daughters at home. So this is our call that we're focused on education, which I'm super excited about. That is my background, and that is what gets to happen. Like now I have the energy and the focus to do all that I want to do for my daughters, and then more for myself as a person, myself as an educator. I still see myself as an educator, even though I'm not technically in that field. So I want to welcome you all. If you are an educator on this call, drop in the chat what your role is. And an educator is such a broad term. So if you work in some sort of school or education setting, I count you as an educator. Put in the chat what role you carry or have carried in the past, and how long you've been in that role. Thank you for all of you who are in that currently or in the past, because you all make such a huge difference on our communities, on our children's lives. And we are grateful for you and excited to share with you about this amazing drink that can change lots of things for you. So I'm going to move to just sharing a little bit about what ketones are, and then ask a couple people to share and share a little bit more. So ketones are a fuel source for your body. There's 3 ways to get into ketosis. Prior to Prove It, 7 years old, there were only 2 ways, and those were through a strict keto diet or through fasting, a longer term fast. That's the only way in the past that you were able to get into ketosis, meaning you have ketones in your blood. Now with Prove It's ketones, because they're 100% bioidentical to the ones that your liver makes, and they're 100% natural, made through a process of natural fermentation, you can get into ketosis within an hour or even within minutes with our free cell technology. So that is amazing news, because when you're in ketosis, you get better energy, better focus, better mood, better sleep, easier fat loss, reduced cravings for carbs. You can preserve your muscles, build more muscles, better digestion, clearer skin. All of these things are amazing. And they're because of this fuel source that our brain, our hearts, and our muscles prefer over carbs and sugars. Regardless of how you eat, when you drink ketones, you will be in ketosis. It doesn't mean that eating poorly is a good choice necessarily, but you will be in ketosis regardless, meaning that you'll have that better energy and that you'll have the ability to make better decisions. And we are a patent protected, 9 patents protect our product, which is really exciting. And it was originally formulated for the Navy SEALs because they would do deep sea dives, and they would come up, when they would come up from those deep sea dives, their brains would start to oxidize and would have seizures, and they were battling that. So Dr. D'Agostino, one of the doctors who worked on our original formula and the patented formula, he needed to find a solution so that they wouldn't experience that so much. And what he found was that the ketones that were created, that our body creates when we're doing a strict keto diet that was created for kids with epilepsy, help to work with the brain and to control those seizures. So that's where it came from, which is super exciting to me. So as an educator, I'm a learner. I am a gather information person, and the science behind this is incredible. The research and everything is continuing to blossom and grow, but it is based on education and science, which is something that is dear to the heart. It's about who we are. And so I'm excited to share with educators about, and I could talk for hours about all that, but I won't. So we're going to move and shift so that Amanda, who's here to share with us, is going to share about her story. And she has an incredibly powerful story. So I'm my first time hearing it. And I am super excited, Amanda, to hear it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. So I'm Amanda Boyce. I live in Salem, Oregon, and I am a school administrator in the development of special education. So I have been drinking ketones since January the 10th, when I committed to Core 4 with Amber Horn. Since then, I have completed 3 rounds of Core 4 and become a promoter. I became a promoter at the end of March. It was really like spring break time frame. And I just wanted more. I wanted to learn more. And fun little fact about me is, even though I'm in education, I have my FCC radio broadcasting license and had a radio show for 5 years. So people hear that and they're like, oh, interesting. So prior to ketones, I was very tired. I really had a lack of drive in the evenings, like that 7 o'clock hour. It was hard for me to make it past that, especially during the pandemic when we were just so homebound. And horrible sleep patterns. 4 to 5 hours a night was really my max, and I had been on sleeping medication for years, and it just wasn't happening. Since drinking ketones starting January the 10th, I sleep so much more soundly, a lot of energy, clearer mental mentality, less feeling of hunger. And I would always turn to food, and I don't do that anymore. It's really the mindset change that I've had. I was bored and I would turn to food, and I don't do that. The biggest thing for me, I have lost 57 pounds as of this morning. And I haven't done anything different other than drinking ketones, the Mitoplex, which is a key for me. Just making sure I do that and getting 15 to now an hour a day of exercise. It has been phenomenal. So my personal goal, and this is a little scary to share with everyone, but my personal goal was to be able to fly on an airplane and not use a seatbelt extender. And in April, I accomplished that. So that was huge. And for my future, I'm recreating myself right now. My son is a senior and approaching the senior year of high school, and he doesn't need me as much. And this is my time to focus on me and to see what I want to do. So I, just as Amber has told me, I am not a promoter. I am not one to shout this from the rooftops, but people see me and they see my transformation, and they are just, I want that. How can I get that? And they want to know more. So it's been phenomenal. Amber has been the biggest cheerleader behind the scenes and in front of everything, helped me host a bunko party with ketones. And it was just such a fun night. So I'm excited to see where this adventure goes in the next 6 months.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you, Amanda. I love it's amazing when you have that fuel source and when you get to start to see results in how you feel, how you look, how you even see yourself, and how other people see you, because everyone's asking you. It's amazing what's happening. And those wins are so huge, and they're not all scale wins. Like, I love that you've lost that 57 pounds already And you have these huge non-scale wins that are incredible. So thank you for being here, Amanda. Thank you for investing in yourself right now in this part of your life, and for sharing that with us, because you inspire other people through what you're sharing.
Thank you. It has been an amazing journey, and I can't wait to see what's up next.
Woohoo. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So what Amanda's experienced is it's unique to Amanda because it's her story and it's powerful, but it's not overly unique to all people who are drinking ketones, because ketones are our humans' body's native fuel source, which is so exciting because it means that many people, if you're human, you can drink this and you can experience benefits and feel better. And everybody's bodies has different rates that's going to happen at, and will have different experiences with the benefits based on what your body needs, which is very exciting because this is a technology. That's why we don't just say it's a product, it's a technology, because it works with who you are so that it's bettering you. And Prove It is all about inspiring people to be their best versions of themselves. So we have some support products. I'm going to just really briefly talk about them, and then you can touch base with the person that invited you to this call about them further if you have more questions about them and want to also add them to what you're getting started with. So Keto Cream is a cream. It's a powder, and you add it to your hot milk, hot almond milk, hot coffee, hot chocolate. Well, depends on how you want to have your hot chocolate, but you can add it to so many things, tea, and it gives you collagen, it gives you healthy fats, it gives you vitamins and minerals. It does not have ketones, but it is an amazing support product and supports ketone production. It promotes ketone production. We also have Mitoplex electrolytes. Those are a little skinny stick, and I'm not where I can grab one. So I'm not going to move, but if anyone has one, you can show it up on your screen. So Mitoplex electrolytes are an incredible support product, one of the most potentially important, because when you're in ketosis, you don't retain water or electrolytes. Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah's putting it up onto her screen, and Pam. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Oh, and Tracy. Awesome. Just look around your screen. You'll see some Mitoplex. The Mitoplex, so when you're in ketosis, you don't retain water or electrolytes. So Mitoplex has electrolytes. It also has Mito2PQ that is for your mitochondria, to take care of it, to grow more of it, which is all about energy. And it has creatine, and it has vitamin D3, which most of us are deficient in. And then we also have an amazing new thing has come this year, and that is the food. So we have food fresh from the farm to your doorstep. It's organic, it's low carb, it tastes amazing, and it's already made. So you just pop it into wherever you want to heat it up, that microwave, stove, oven, and then you get to eat it and have already food that's created for you that is delicious and changing every week. Finally, we have a 10-day challenge. Not only finally, this is like the main thing. So the 10-day challenge, Amanda referred to the core 4, which we'll talk about briefly as well. But the 10-day challenge is a box that has 10 caffeine packets and 10 caffeine free in a variety of flavors. It allows you to drink ketones once or twice a day for 10 or 20 days. And Pam is my Vanna right now. Thank you, Pam. And she's showing the Drink Ketones Challenge box. We have one that's available right now that is the cocktail series, which is super exciting. It's also on sale. This is a new, the cocktail series is new. The 10-day Drink Ketones Challenge is not new. Oh, yay, we got another, and this is the cocktail series. Awesome. So these are great ways to start. Not just great ways to start. Those are some support products, but the 10-day challenge is a great way to start. I'm going to come back and share some other ways to start, or just how to think about this. But before I do that, I want to pass the mic to Pam, who's going to share about her experience drinking ketones.
Hi, thank you for letting me share. Can you tell I'm sitting next to my supply?
Perfect, yes, I'm not.
So I'm Pam Stringer. I'm in McMinnville, Oregon, so just down the road from Amanda. I too work in education. I'm an educational assistant working in elementary. I teach phonics to kindergarten through 5th grade. So typical day, I teach about 100 kids in different grade levels. Plus I do a couple recess duties. So typical day, I work with about 300 kids, a lot of names to remember. Before I started drinking ketones, I started about 4.5 years ago. And before I started, I was so tired, so worn out. I wasn't sleeping at night. Just had a terrible time going to sleep, staying asleep. And I had incredible brain fog to the point that it was interfering with my ability to do my job and do it well. And I was actually thinking of like, I need to get out of this and figure something else out because I just can't function. A friend of mine, Heather, was posting about how she got her energy back, her joy back, and her brain fog was gone. I'm like, I need that. So I called her up and said, hey, what are you doing? And she says, it's real easy. It's a drink. You just shake it up with water, drink it, and let the magic happen. So I started with a 10-day trial pack. And I was a slow cooker. I didn't feel anything right away. I'm not real sensitive to caffeine or anything like that. It always takes a lot for me to feel anything. But about, I don't know, day 4 or 5, I realized that I was going to sleep and sleeping through the night and starting to wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. So sleep was the first benefit that I really noticed. And then from there, everything just kind of fell into place. I started getting more energy. My mood got better. My brain fog started to lift and memory got better. Brain function got better. And I felt like I just came back to life. And so I just kept drinking them. Started, talking to my family and my friends about it, and finally became a promoter. And so that's what I've been doing for over 4 years, and I'll drink them until the day I die because the benefits just they don't go away. They just keep happening. I love the energy and I like that it's a calm energy throughout the day. It's not like you don't spike and then drop. It's consistent. So in going forward, another reason why I'm going to keep drinking them is because I have a grandbaby. And so going forward, my goal is to keep up with him and teach him everything. I also love to travel. I've got kids that are kind of spread around the country and doing things, traveling and stuff like that. I want to travel with them. And I'm just super excited that I found something that has given me so much benefit.
Awesome. That's amazing, Pam. Thank you for sharing. And I think that piece that you're talking about, and I heard Amanda mention it as well, that like working all day and then just not having more energy for the rest of the day to do more and to do what you want to do after you've given of yourself to all of the students that you do throughout the day, but needing so much there. And then you have to come home, but you don't have more to give. And I love that ketones, like you said, have this calm, sustained energy that makes it possible for you to do all that you want to do as an educator and do all that you want to do with your grandson or your grandbaby and everything that goes into the rest of your day. And I think that's something that educators, when I would coach teachers, I would see so many teachers who were suffering to do, they were working as much as possible to give as much of themselves to their students, and then they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough for themselves and for their families, and that created this spiral of a mental health issue sometimes, and spaces where teachers didn't, they had it, but they didn't have it to the extent that they wanted it. And I think that that's a beauty that we get to have with ketones, is that our brains can be fueled and can have what we need so to give to everyone we want to, and we can come home and feel like we can give to our own families and to ourselves, and then do it again and do it again and do it again. And because ketones keep giving, that's great. Yeah.
I just want to add one more thing. We just finished school last week, and the end of the year, everybody's like, oh my gosh, they're counting down. I'm so tired. I can't wait. Are we done yet? And whoo, that's over. We made it. And I was just like, what a great year. This was a fantastic year. And everybody's looking at me sideways like, what is wrong with you? It's like, oh my gosh, we're in person. We got to take our mask off, and we got, all these kids back in front of us, and we got to love on them and teach them. And I spent part of the year working with our high flyers and our skills builder program, where we help kids that are melting down, basically. And, and everybody's like, wow. I'm like, you guys, you should drink this. It helps.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you, Pam. Thank you for being here and for sharing and for all that you're giving to 300 kids a day, and that now you get to give back to your family as well as to yourself and continue to do that for the last 4 years. That's amazing. So as you get started with ketones, there's a few ways to get started. We usually fall into like one of three people. You might be someone who's thinking, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me or not. I don't know if I want to invest in a whole box of 20, but I think I could try it. And that's someone who says that they are like, okay, I think I want to try it. And you can grab a trial pack from the person that you're connecting to. You might also be the type of person who says, okay, I'm ready. That's about it. Let me just try it. And let's go. Let's do that. I'll give it a try. That you would be a great candidate for the 10-day challenge and to get in, and even maybe for one of our bundles. I didn't mention the bundles. So our bundles are the 10-day challenge plus the Mitoplex electrolytes. And you can get one of those boxes with the electrolytes, or you can get 2 boxes of the electrolytes, or you can even add our Keto Pro, which I also didn't mention, but you can ask the person that connected you. And it also comes with a 24 fast. So there's so many things that you can connect, and they're all discounted. But that person is a person who says, okay, I think that this is something that I can get started with as a customer, and I want to get started. We have a Smart Ship program. That is a program for all of our customers where you can have a monthly order that you can change, you can edit, you can cancel it whenever you want to, but you really want to keep it going, because every 4th month you get a free box with your box that you're ordering. You get an extra box of product, but that also gives you an ongoing discount, a monthly discount where you get to have access to other discounts, and then you get to have your product every month discounted. Also, if you might have listened to this and you've heard about the stories from Amanda and Pam, myself, and you're going to hear from Sarah in a second. If you've heard these stories and you've heard at least 2 people in your life, other teachers, perhaps other educators in your life that might need these benefits, if you've heard those, then you are a great candidate to look to get free ketones, which is amazing because you can refer 2 people and get your box for free and just pay the shipping and the tax, which is absolutely incredible. And that is something that's available for customers as well as promoters. But perhaps you have listened and you've heard of more people, your mom, your sister, your coworker, the janitor in your school, lots of everyone in your school that you know that needs ketones. If you've heard a need for what we have and you want to share it and you want to share it and inspire other people to do it with you, then you might be someone who is what we call a promoter, someone who shares ketones with other people to build community, to have fun, and to inspire people to be the best versions of themselves by feeling better. We use this vehicle of ketones, but there's a lot that goes along with being a promoter. And we're going to talk about that and shift the call a little bit. So those are a few ways to get started. Get in where you fit in. That's what we always say. If this isn't for you, no problem. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And if it is, you're in one of those spaces, and let the person that connected you to this call, let them know which of those people you are, so that they can help you get started with one of those ways, wherever you're at. As we shift, we're going to shift the call just briefly to talk about what it means to share ketones as a promoter. And we, as a promoter, it's those things we get to talk about what we're experiencing, and we get to help people feel better. And I know that when I have a headache, I am not the greatest person. I'm more irritable. I don't have very much patience. I can't focus. I can't do my work. But when I don't, then I feel better and I can do all those things. It's like that with ketones. Like when we start to operate with ketones as our fuel source, we get to be better, and we get to then inspire other people to be better in the process. So we're sharing, and that is all we're doing. Sometimes people from other companies and from other experiences think, oh, I need to be a salesperson to be a promoter. Not at all. this is something that you get to share, just like we would share about a book that you read or a movie you went to, a restaurant that you went to and you loved. You're just sharing about your experience, and then you're making connections with resources and with people. And then you get to be in this community where you are regularly growing as a person. So I'm going to pass the mic now to Sarah Ramos, and she is here to share with us about her experience briefly with the ketones, but more with the business.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Ramos. I always look for the smiling faces. I taught middle school math for 9 years, so I always look for that student that makes me feel like I'm teaching really well. So I love that there's educators on here because I like to look at Tracy. She always is smiling all the time. But I taught middle school math for 9 years. I was a teacher out here in Idaho, and teachers in Idaho didn't make a lot of money. They still don't. And so I had to have multiple jobs. And so I coached 2 sports after school. I catered weddings on Saturdays, and then I waitressed on Sundays. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I think as teachers, we're all a little bit crazy on how much we say yes to and how big our plate is. And that's just how it is. And so I never got to see my husband. My husband was always in a sales job. And so he worked opposite of me, and he's my best friend, and I never got to see him. And it was just disappointing because we decided that we weren't going to have kids because, like Christina said, like, we pour so much into our students, we pour so much into our careers, so much into our lesson plannings, into those parent emails, into like all the extra things that we do as a teacher that most people don't see, that when you get home, like, you have nothing to like pour back into yourself. You have nothing to pour into a kid. And so my husband and I were like, how do people do this? There's no way we can do this. So we counted having a family out. And then in 2016, my husband said, explore your options. Like, let's just see, like, if you can find something else that gives you a little bit more freedom. So in 2016, I let my teaching certificate expire, and I was just open to like what was meant to be. And I was waitressing, and someone handed me their Prove It card and said, you should look into this. And I worked with a lot of kids that had a hard time with focus. I worked with a lot of kids that needed to like focus more on their testing. And I saw what ketones could do beyond fat loss. I was just thinking, man, like what this does for the brain, what it does for REM sleep, what it does for natural energy. Like, imagine if we can just go to all those vending machines and switch out those sodas and those energy drinks for ketones. Like, what would our schools look like? Like, that's our future. And I just visualize like everybody can benefit from ketones. Like, we're all born in a state of ketosis. And so when I saw that vision, I was like, this is the vehicle I've always searched for to change people's lives at the level that I wanted to change it at. And so I dove in right away as a promoter, shared at a really high level. I was able to retire my husband in 10 months. We were able to travel the world together, make up for lost time. Like, we never saw each other before. Like, I would cry on Sunday nights and just be like, I want to have breakfast with you. I want to drink coffee with you. Like, I want like time with my husband. And so Prove It is so beautiful because it's even beyond the product. So I got my healthiest, I got my strongest by drinking ketones. I got pregnant in 2018. We have a daughter. She just turned 3. Her name's Indy. I drank ketones my entire pregnancy. They were approved by my doctor. If you are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, you were breastfeeding, check with your doctor. But ketones are all natural, and I had such a beautiful experience. And I just always share this part of it that I never thought it was in the cards for me. So when the doctor held my daughter over the sheet, I was just thinking, I can't believe that I get to be her mama. That one yes completely shifted our life, and it gave us time, and it allowed us to create these beautiful memories where my husband and I got to see every first step. We got to see the first words together. We weren't like videoing it for the other person. And that's what I wish for everyone. Like, I wish for everyone to have that time to pour into themselves, that time to pour into their families. And Prove It has just been such a beautiful gift. It is just a fulfillment and a happiness that I didn't know existed. And I still get to be an educator. I still get to be a teacher. It just looks different. I'm just not at a school. But I'm so grateful each and every day that that stranger handed me that business card while I was waitressing 30 days after I left my teaching career, not knowing what it was that I was going to do. But I think it was in the plan all along that I was supposed to teach for 9 years, and then I had that background, and then here's prove it. And this is how I get to create this ripple effect. And so, Christina, thank you for letting me share. I just love what Prove It can do for like community, for support. Like if you need help with personal development, if you need help like breaking out of your shell, I feel like as teachers, like we educate our students on that all the time, on how to be the best version of themselves. And I think sometimes we need to look in the mirror and see if we're doing that for ourselves, or if we're just pouring that into everybody else and not taking the time to become the best version of ourselves. So the personal development, the community, like it has just been so wonderful. And I love that I just get to create these memories with my family now and just travel the world. And so thank you, Christina.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Your story is always so inspiring. And I think what can resonate really well with a lot of educators is that you had a heart to serve students and to help students, like you said, to be their best versions of themselves. And you did that on I've heard you speak before about how much you poured into the students, and the students who needed the most help you were there for. And you also were able to see something bigger that for yourself, that you now can do that in a different space, but do that with all of the things that you shared. So your story is always inspiring. Thank you for being here, Sarah, and for sharing with us. So as a promoter, we have a few ways to get started, and I'm going to share a little bit about my experience, and then we're going to be done. I want to protect our time as well tonight. So we have a few ways for you to get started. We have a $1 Keto Club going on where you can start for just $1 when you order a pack, and a pack is expanded right now. So this includes the bundles, a couple of the bundles, the better and the best bundle. It also includes the mini and the max pack, and it makes it possible for you to get started and to have product, not to drink for yourself. And then you also have product that you can but sell as trial packs so that people can get started. And at that smaller pack, if they're looking for something smaller, that trial pack that Pam said that she got started with was a 10-day trial pack. This is a way for you to get started and do that with just the $1 membership. And that's in a membership for the whole entire year. It allows you to earn earnings, but also to be a part of our community, and then to have a back office, to have as your own website. You have one as a customer too, but to be able to earn when you are sharing. That's the very minimal explanation of how to get started. We have you don't have to be a salesperson. Actually, I would say educators are often really amazing at being promoters, because educators have a desire, have lots of the quality, have a desire to help people, have a desire to help inspire people to be their best versions of themselves, love to share information, love to share experiences. And I think that educators also have a certain drive within them to do their best and to pursue excellence. And I think that that's something that happens here and that we're about. When I got started, I drank them for 1.5 years before I started sharing them. And I wasn't interested in sharing them in the beginning as a promoter. And as I continued, so I was in education in lots of different places. I have 3 masters in education, and I have experience in higher education, and then moved back into, I moved into teaching, and then moved into coaching teachers. And when I was coaching teachers, I was doing that with 2 girls at home and was away from the house 2 days a week to coach teachers. What I saw in those break rooms, Sarah mentioned the vending machines. I saw in teacher break rooms where teachers would come in with that lack of energy, come in looking for that coffee, come in needing to just vent. And man, if we could put ketones in all teacher break rooms, and people can grab them and use that as their fuel to go forward, I became more and more passionate about what I was drinking and wanted to share that as well. And came from a space where I really wanted to, we were living paycheck to paycheck, my husband and I, and we wanted to not be in that space anymore because it brought us to a tension in our marriage where it was constantly us talking about what we couldn't do because of a lack of money. We were often feeling like we could never get ahead because we would just get set back by a car breaking down or get set back by another bill that had to be paid that we didn't expect. And we wanted something different, though we had even stopped kind of dreaming about what different could be, about what our future as a family could be. And we were at a space too where we needed something different. And since then, I've been able to invest in not only my personal development, but in the personal development of people around me. And I've been able to, I'm a completely different person and even educator than I was when I started. And I'm in a different person. I'm a better person. I'm not so focused on my own limitations. I'm seeking the abundance that exists. I'm focusing on the positive. I'm putting energy and focus and value on my own needs and my own advocating for myself. And I've been able to invest in our future. We've been able to pay off some debts because Prove It has a car program where you can, as you continue to share more and more ketones with people, you can earn a car that the company pays for so that you can, and that was really important for us because we had this car that constantly was breaking down, or really old cars that we always were doing that. So I now have a car that's more than reliable, and that I don't have to worry about that. It's one less piece of worry. And for us, I've always traveled as a kid and I wanted that for my family, but that wasn't where we were at financially to be able to travel regularly. And when we did, it was because my parents helped us out. And now I get to travel regularly, not only to travel to events, but also with my family. And I wanted to travel internationally. And my initial goal was to earn $200 so that I could pay for my girls' passports so that they could even have the ability to travel internationally. We just came back from living in March. We lived in Mexico for a month, and we did living and learning in Mexico. And that was our first international trip as a family. And this opportunity has made it possible for us to do that. So it's something that now, in the past, I always was seeking excellence, always was doing well in the positions that I held within education, but I always wanted a little bit more and felt like I wasn't using all of my gifts and strengths. And now that I'm with Prove It, I'm able to educate, I'm able to be a coach, I'm able to do all of these things and feel that fulfillment for myself. And I'm excited to continue to use that moving forward and to continue to be an educator and do that and inspire in lots of different spaces. So this is not just it. There's so much to say and so much to do, but Prove It is a place that is welcoming, open to all, and it is a place where you will come away not only from the ketones that you're drinking, but from the community that you're around and from our layered learning programs. You'll come away a different person and continue moving forward just 1% better every day. And we know that with our students that progress monitoring, like you get to do that within Prove It, you get to progress monitor your own progress, but just by 1% every day. And that can make a compound impact and a residual impact that is for a lifetime and has an impact long-term. So that's a little bit about being a promoter. If that resonates with you in any way, shape, or form, connect back to the person that invited you here. Thank you again for all that all of you are doing. If you're listening to this right now in front of us, or if you're listening to the recording, thank you for who you are as an educator, all that you're giving. I was the most skeptical of a lot of them. I said no to my brother for 9 months. And I'm so glad that finally I said yes. And I was in a space where I was ready to try something different and to potentially see if there was hope, and there is. that is what we're selling, is hope that there's possibility for change. You heard from Amanda that she wanted to, her huge win that she said was even somewhat embarrassing right now to share is amazing, and feels, I bet that was an amazing feeling to travel that way, Amanda. And now she gets to share that with more people. We're in a space where things like that happen and are possible, and there is hope, and you can be in a different space than you are now. So have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for your time, and we're out. Bye.